One of the biggest political stories in Tennessee in 2022 spring in late June from News Channel 5's ongoing Revealed investigation.
That investigation showed what was said and wasn't said behind closed doors when Governor Bill Lee sat down with one of his top education advisors. Well, it quickly sparked a political firestorm. Our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams recaps how it all went down.
Our investigation is about to take you behind closed doors into a world where public education and public school teachers are openly ridiculed.
You will see how education destroys generations of people. It's devastating. It's like a plague.
This event, an invitation-only reception hosted by Dr. Larry Arnn, the president of Michigan's conservative Hillsdale College, his surprise guest, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee.
For decades, Hillsdale College has been a standard bearer in quality curriculum and in the responsibility of preserving American liberty.
Earlier this year, Lee announced a partnership with Hillsdale to use Tennesseans' tax dollars to set up 50 privately operated charter schools across the state.
I still think we need 100 charter schools.
Among the audience, at least one longtime advocate for privatizing Tennessee's public schools, along with a guest who was secretly recording and who provided that recording to News Channel 5 Investigates. It was an audience that found humor as the Hillsdale president mocked teachers who have education degrees.
If you work in a college, you'll know this, unless you work in the ed department. Ours is different, but they're the dumbest part of every college.
He just called teachers the most ignorant people on a college campus, and they laughed.
It was a statement that shocked a former teacher, now a Democratic lawmaker.
I am absolutely flabbergasted by this.
Along with a longtime conservative who now lobbies Capitol Hill for Tennessee teachers.
I mean, it's an insult to the students that go through colleges of education. It's an insult to the professors and the people who teach. Our educators.
They're messing with people's children, and they feel entitled to do anything to them.
It was a theme to which Arnn returned with the governor sitting at his side.
The teachers are trained in the dumbest parts of the dumbest colleges in the country, and they're taught that they're going to go and do something to those kids.
He says teachers come from the dumbest parts of
the dumbest colleges. And the governor is sitting here while this is happening, saying nothing.
The problem is not so much that Larry Arnn would say this. He's got an agenda, and he's certainly pushing that. But what really is the problem here is that our governor stood there and let this be said about the people who are educating.
And the administrators you hire are all diversity people. And that helps you, by the way, with your federal requirements that you have a certain number by color.
And Arnn, who sparked controversy nearly a decade ago before the Michigan legislature when he addressed his own school's diversity efforts.
We violated the standards for diversity because we didn't have enough dark ones, I guess is what they meant.
Argued here that the push for diversity in higher education has led to more people with education degrees.
And now, because they're appointing all these diversity officers, what are their degrees in? Education. It's easy. You don't have to know anything.
And essentially he's saying diversity candidates are not smart enough to get real degrees.
Yes, that's exactly what he said. The governor sat there and did not correct it. You know, you would see if this would continue on, I mean, where would he go? Where would he get up and walk out?
The philosophic understanding at the heart of modern education is enslavement, and we have to break out of that.
As our investigation previously revealed, Hillsdale's 1776 curriculum teaches kids that conservative ideas are what the nation's founders intended, that democratic or progressive ideas are not.
Progress that is definitely being made.
On the black struggle for equality, Hillsdale teaches the civil rights movement was almost immediately turned into programs that ran counter to the lofty ideals of the founders. On federal laws opening up lunch counters and outlawing discrimination in restaurants, hotels, and theaters, Hillsdale says this was where the line between private conscience and government coercion began to blur.
Have you read the Hillsdale curriculum?
The governor had tried to sidestep those questions, but here behind closed doors, Lee had nothing but praise for Hillsdale's vision.
Has a vision for educating children in this state that I believe is a vision that Tennesseans will embrace.
As for the charter schools they hope to establish across Tennessee, Arn insisted finding qualified teachers is the least of his concerns.
Here's a key thing that we're going to try to do. We're going to try to demonstrate that you don't have to be an expert to educate a child. Because basically anybody can do it.
And I think the governor, again, should have said, I disagree with that. Does the governor think anybody can be a teacher? He needs to answer that question.
Asked about Arn's comments, Lee's press office issued a statement saying that under Governor Lee, the future of public education looks like well-paid teachers and growing a workforce to support our students and build a profession. So what about this?
The teachers are trained in the dumbest parts of the dumbest colleges in the country.
Just like the governor, the statement was completely silent on those comments.
It boggles the mind that someone could be so evil and so ignorant at the same time, and so cowardly as to say nothing and not stand up for a single Tennessee child or a Tennessee teacher.
That was Phil Williams reporting, and you can watch a 1-hour special report looking back at Phil's year-long revealed investigation of how Capitol Hill really works. It's tonight at 8, airing on NewsChannel5.com and all of our streaming apps.